This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Well, we opened up against a team that was very, very hungry, and they shot the lights out of it the first quarter, and it was very difficult for us to cut back into that. We had a goal of trying to get it down to maybe 6-point game going into the fourth quarter, and just wasn't able to do that. Gave good defensive efforts in the second and third quarter, but the first quarter and fourth quarter, they just extended their leads, and we got some areas that we've got to work on.
Ken made the statement that this team's still learning how to make adjustments in game. Their posts got off several threes. Is that one of the adjustments that she might be talking about there from a defensive side?
Yeah, I can't say just one position like the post. We've got to make adjustments. The entire team, we may be leaning too heavily on a scout real early in the season, and we've only had the data and information from 2 games or 3 games, and you can look at the previous stat sheet from UTC, and they certainly don't shoot 46% or 44% from three-point range, but certainly tonight several of them really shot the ball well, and especially from long range. At the end of the day, the stat line is that they made 1 more field goal than us. However, they made 8 more threes than us, and that was obviously 8 more points right there. And it's hard to say just a position like the post, but we've got to make better adjustments overall, and just get fundamentally better. We were about every move we made was countered by them, and they just simply, without complicating the game, they shot the ball better, and they were certainly hungry, looking for their first win for the season.
You say we rely on the scout. Are you talking about the players maybe are relying on the scout a little bit too much and not just kind of feeling the game out? Or?
Yeah, as a coach, and I think a lot of coaches maybe make this same mistake. This is a mistake that I think that we can become guilty, is to give them so much information and so much detail that they don't think on their own. We just told them what to do and when to do it and how to do it, and there's a lot in the process of just personal development and growing and taking responsibility. And as a coach or as a parent or grandparent or as a teacher, you're all the time trying to inform and empower your players or your students or your own family members to develop and grow. And sometimes they have to take the information and navigate through it and make some own personal adjustments. As an example, if my scout tells me that she's not a good 3-point shooter, but she's taken 5, and she's made 3 of them, that's already too late for me to figure out to get up there. I need to just take my own personal ability to close out and take those away, and that's where we have to grow. We're still developing.
What about offensively? There was that 9-minute stretch there from the first quarter going into the second quarter. I mean, was that what made it so challenging to score at that point?
That's a good question. And Nick, I'd like to act like I know what you're talking about. I know you're throwing it out. It's too much goes on in 9 minutes. I'd say it's probably a combination of a lot of things. Okay. I can't answer that question. I need to look at it. Okay.
There's a stretch there in the third quarter where you guys had cut it to where it's almost single digits. You almost got to that point of 6. But they had 3 offensive rebounds in which they score points off of. I believe 7 of their 10 second chance points came there in the third quarter. How demoralizing is that when your team prides itself on rebounding, gives up those second chances when you guys are trying to claw back into the game?
Yeah, Damien, I think those were critical times. We're trying to make her move, and didn't close out, didn't get the rebounds, and if I'm not mistaken, during that stretch right in there, they hit 2 threes, and that really hurt. I think maybe missed it, scored a 3, another time foul, made one, missed the second one, scored another 3. So there's 7 points in really 2 possessions there that hurt big, and we'll be looking at that. It's just opportunities to stay in the game and to make not a big play, just a normal play. And again, I got to look at how that ball bounced, who touched it. There was one that a girl come run the ball down outside the lane on the right-hand side. It happened so quick. I don't know if that was the shooter. I don't know if that was a girl looping behind. I would have to look back. But those were plays that we just got to make, normal plays, and not allow them to get energy off of that.
Cornelius had a career high against Hampton, 22, and then first quarter, 15 points on 6 of 6 shooting. And Katie Burrows said they wanted to ride her coattails early to see, how much they could get out of her. Was her impact felt in the first quarter with her ability not only to stretch but to score inside?
Oh, no doubt. At that one point, it was Abby Cornelius 15, Liberty 10. And she was on fire. We didn't respect her enough to make her put it on the floor, and she had a great game. Now, I say all of that, and yet you were at the game, I was at the game. She almost turned her ankle first or second play out on top trying to make a move, and and so we didn't take things away from her and make her play a different style of game, and we gave her some open shots. She capitalized on it. She's a good ball player. We recruited her, and we respect her, and she actually went to the same high school my nephew went to. So I've known of her since sophomore year, and she was strongly looking at Liberty, but UT Chattanooga was only a couple hours away from home, or not even 2 hours away from home and she played an extremely good game, and not only against us. I think she had 20 points against Hampton in a loss as well. So I think she was maybe shooting 60% even against Hampton, like 8 for 11 or something like that against Hampton. So she's had back-to-back very good games.
Got some minutes, 10 minutes or so out of Nena Lindstrom tonight. She had an assist, a steal. Did make a 3. Did you like what you saw out of her tonight?
Yeah, she's already been on the floor about 3 days with us, coming off an injury, so had to be careful with her. She was playing hard, and need to make sure she didn't. I mean, she was gassed out a couple of times, and we needed to get her out, but certainly glad to have her back out there in her efforts. So that gives us a few more bullets in our gun, so to speak, and keep people from just being worn down. This, if I'm not mistaken, this is third game 7 days or third game in 8 days. Not to make an excuse, but we're learning each other, and some people like Rhea and Ashton, Bridget getting a lot of minutes, Emily getting a lot of minutes. We need them because they've earned those minutes, but we got to be wise with how we shuffle the cards somewhat. And maybe tonight, those like Ashton has maybe been exhausted, and maybe she's a little more tired, and her footwork's not as good. And if your footwork's not good on defense, people is going to score on you, and you're going to get in foul trouble. And unfortunately, she's fouled out back to back. And I feel for her and her frustrations at that time, but she'll bounce back. She's a tough, gritty player, and she will certainly be back.
Last one, thoughts on Virginia Tech?
I haven't even.
Just the matchup and facing an ACC school and the importance.
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. It's an in-state school, an ACC school, and for Liberty to play like we're playing UVA in football, it's a great opportunity to be tested and to see where we're at, and always opportunity to beat a big brother or whatever you want to call it, and it's always difficult. And I know absolutely nothing about them right now because all my focus has been in these last 3 games and just taking one game at a time and working with a team that we're going to continue to work with and developing some young people and get this balance and get corrected. So obviously going to Virginia Tech or playing anybody on the road is tough. And playing a quality ACC team is always going to be a challenge, but great opportunity. Challenges are opportunities, and we look forward to working towards that challenge and going into Virginia Tech and working for a win.